Hey now, it's your brother Marcus, Mr. Elements of Inspiration, right here on the Elements of Inspiration Brother Marcus podcast. And as always, I give you the best interviews on this side of the globe, whether we're dealing with celebrities or people of interest, or the Element of Inspiration Brother Marcus quicker picker-uppers and everything else in between. So today, a great topic, interesting topic, something that we kind of need to get into. And I want to back up a little bit. Now, when we were all younger, and all of us have been young at some point in our time, right? And even in our adulthood, there's been people that antagonize you, people that pick on you, people that always want to bully you. Today, we're going to talk about the bully. Now, we all had a bully growing up. I know I had a bully. And the interesting things about bullies is bullies have the ability to change throughout the course of time. But we'll talk about that later. I want to get into part one of the bully, understanding the behavior. All right. So many bullies, they protect their inner struggles. You know, I'm not protect, but they project their inner struggles. They put it out there, right? And they put it outward where you feel what they're feeling. You feel their pain. Psychologists have found that, some individuals who bully a lot of people, or maybe one or two people, they struggle with low self-worth, low self-esteem, insecurities, and unresolved trauma. Instead of addressing their pain, they attempt to control or dominate someone else, to temporarily feel empowered or feel powerful, but this is the thing. Studies are developmental, right? You know what I mean? Studies have talked about this in psychology, and it shows that some bullies experience higher levels of insecurity and emotional instability, even though they may appear confident, but they're really not. So this is the element of inspiration thought process here. People who hurt others, are often hurting themselves. And understanding truth does not excuse bullying, but it reveals the deeper issue. And that's some of the things that we need to do, is understanding the bully, the person who's starting, understanding the real root, understanding the real issues, understanding the real reasons why they do what they do, and how they, learn this behavior. Children are not born, how to bully. They're not birthed to bully. You know what I'm saying? This behavior is a learned behavior. It can be, a person can be, it's their environment. If you come from a bustling household that's violent and, rowdy and all of this, it's environmental. It can be, observational. It can be something that is, reinforcement. It's some sort of reinforcement, but the things that they see and experience. See, a child grows up witnessing aggression at home. They see it online, they see it amongst their peers, and they may begin to see intimidation as normal. The concept, it aligns with the social learning theory, developed by Albert Bandura. All right. And this is the insight. He says, people, they imitate behaviors that they see being rewarded or tolerated. Isn't that interesting? That makes you wonder, right? If bullying can be learned, then guess what, y'all? Bullying can be unlearned. Yeah, absolutely. So for some bullies, intimidation becomes a way of, gaining social dominance. When a bully humiliates someone and receives laughter and attention or fear from others, the brain may associate that behavior with some sort of reward. This activates the brain's reward system, similar to like praise or status, can be reinforced in behavior. You're doing good. All right. It's that same type of feeling. So the real strength is not controlling people. It's lifting them up. That, my friends, is the real flex. So many bullies, they believe that, they won't be accountable. They won't be held accountable for anything. So a bully often continues the behavior because they believe that there will be no consequences. And in actuality, there are. Many teachers, leaders, communities, they like ignore bullying. And if they continue to ignore bullying, it's like the silence that can make it feel like permission. Like if I don't say nothing, it's all right. If I don't, complain, it's all right. So behavioral psychology shows that this action, if it is not corrected, it will tend to repeat, and it will begin to escalate. And that's what we don't want, is unnecessary situations and circumstances to escalate. So communities, we have to change. And this is everybody. Everybody's community's got to change. When people have the courage to speak up and protect one another, that's the biggest thing that everybody needs to do. If you see something, what do they say? You see something, say something. Bullying often comes from, identity struggles. Some, individuals, that bully others, they become this, they just become nasty with their own identity because they don't even know who they are. They don't have a sense of acceptance and they don't have a sense of belonging. So instead of dealing with the internal, issues and the internal questions, they attempt to elevate themselves by pushing someone else down, by putting someone else down, by talking someone else down in a negative way. Adolescents who feel social rejection and lack of belonging are more likely to engage in aggressive behavior. So confidence, my friends, it doesn't come from tearing someone down, talking about someone, making someone feel embarrassed or less than, but it comes from knowing who you are. Do you know who you are? That's one of the Element of Inspiration Brother Marcus program speech engagements that I have. So if you want me to come and speak to your team, your group, whatever, hit me up on the Element of Inspiration Brother Marcus hotline and we'll get back to that. But let's get back to the regularly scheduled program. The bully can change. Yeah, that's what I want to get into. The bully can change. And this is a very important, focus for everybody. While bullying causes real harm, real danger, right? People are capable of transformation. Everybody can change. I remember watching Rocky, one of the Rockies, I'm sure it was Rocky 4 or something, and Rocky Balboa says, everybody can change, and I believe that everybody can change. When individuals receive guidance, emotional support, and accountability, they can develop empathy, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. So programs that teach empathy, conflict resolution, and emotional regulation significantly reduce that bullying behavior by miles and miles and miles and miles. So, what we want to do is we need to continue to remember that growth begins when someone realizes power is not domination. It's compassion. It is. So for those who are experiencing bullying and have, the most important truth is this: someone else's cruelty does not define your identity or your future. History is filled with individuals who were mocked, who were beaten, who were rejected, who were laughed at, who were bullied, and yet they rose and they became leaders, innovators, and voices of hope. So I want you to take this with you. Your voice matters. Your life matters. No bully has the authority to define your destiny. Not at all. So some of the loudest persons in the room is most likely the most broken in the room. But we must remember this always and never forget. Strength is not found in intimidation. Strength is found in compassion, character, courage. And if you've ever been bullied, know this: you are not defined by someone else's insecurities. You are defined by the greatness that lives inside of you. That is today's Element of Inspiration. Brother Marcus, quicker picker-upper. Take that to the bank and cash that check. That is the bully. Part 1. We got part 2 coming up on the Elements of Inspiration Brother Marcus podcast. Look out for it. Look out for it. We're going to give it to you. Stay close.